Hi guys, welcome to Dave in Real Life and my Wrestlemania 37 Night 2 review video. Yeah, what can I say about Night 2? There was some shocks, for sure. A lot of people unhappy, but you know, that's the way it goes. It's wrestling, it shouldn't be predictable. On this show, we didn't have like the wrestlers coming out onto the stage, but we did have American the Beautiful sang again by a country singer. I believe she was off The Voice. I don't know her name. It's a pretty shame. She wasn't as good as the singer on Night 1. Well, certainly not as exposed as the singer on Night 1. We did then get the hosts, Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil, dressed as pirates, which, yeah, that was pretty fun. I did wonder if anybody was going to actually cosplay as pirates during WrestleMania. It just happened to be the hosts. They looked amazing, to be honest. Very fun to see that, and definitely Mattel should consider doing a figure of that. That'd be exciting. We did get some shocking news earlier on of the opening kickoff fight, which would be the Fiend Randy Orton. I mean, I wouldn't have picked that as the one to kick off the show, but yeah, that's what they went with. Randy Orton come down to pretty typical Randy Orton visuals. The Viper CGI graphic, and obviously his ring attire was totally different. He normally wears black ring attire. This time he was in white, which was he looked really cool, to be honest. I do think he was trying to be like the babyface, which is really strange. He came down to the ring. We got a video package which seemed to last forever, but there was a good reason why, because when we went back we saw a big box as Alexa Bliss made her way down to the ring, supporting new ring attire herself. Yeah, with loads of face paint on as well. Looked rather weird, a bit freaky. Then we cut to backstage and we see an amazing visual of the Fiend, the burnt Fiend. He's got like a cloth over his face, and he's like starting to walk down this like corridor where he starts to burn, and as he's finishing burning, he reveals kind of the old Fiend, yeah, but with a brand new mask. Yeah, it was very, very weird, but yeah, keeping the like shield jacket. So yeah, very crossed between the burnt Fiend and real Fiend, what we know and love. Lexa then starts winding this box. I mean, for weeks now she's had this little box, which like Fiend in a box, pop out Fiend, and she starts doing, I mean, a lot of people thought that this could be like I don't know, a huge Fiend, and then we get the Fiend entrance, but that wasn't the case. Fiend popped out of the box, stood like with his back to Randy Orton, and then proceeded to jump off the box onto Orton to start the fight. Yeah, this was a fight. There was no real shenanigans in this. There was no Fiend changing or anything like that. It was just a straight up fight between him and Randy Orton. Although I thought, yeah, you can't have a Fiend match these days without a bit of shenanigans. And definitely there was shenanigans. As Alexa suddenly disappeared from ringside, plainly obvious that she'd got inside the box and changed ring gear. As she popped up out of the box, sat cross-legged, and it was like appeared to have this like black goo. You know, we've seen this black goo for a while now, like coming out of her mouth or coming out of Randy Orton's mouth, but now it was coming from her forehead, like crown, so it was covering her face. Visually it looked fantastic, but don't know. Seemed to distract the Fiend. She put out her arm to beckon him towards her, and he was following suit. This allowed Randy Orton to take advantage, and he popped on one RKO, not like 5 RKOs, just the one, and claimed the 1, 2, 3 over the Fiend. Yeah, the Fiend actually lost yet again at Mania against Randy Orton. Shocking. It really was shocking. Shocking enough that it did affect the next match on the card. Yeah, it did finish with Bray staring at Alexa before the lights went out again and they both disappeared. Don't know what's happening. Why has Alexa done this to Bray or to the Fiend? There's massive Sister Abigail vibes. A lot of people were saying that wasn't a real Fiend, that was like Bo Dallas. I don't believe that for 1 second. There was a moment during the match which definitely signified who it was, because there was like a tribute to John Huber, aka Luke Harper. Where the camera panned towards the Fiend, and he and held out his arms. Pretty much what John Huber used to do in the ring. So yeah, Bo Dallas wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have paid that tribute. So for those who thought that was Bo Dallas, forget it. It wasn't. There's no way. There was a rumour before Mania that there was going to be a double Fiend. Clearly there wasn't a double Fiend, so not every rumour that you hear is correct. And Bo Dallas is not coming into this storyline anytime soon, so forget it. I really don't see that happening at all. I think there's a storyline between Bray now and Alexa. Maybe Alexa recruits Randy Orton. I don't know. I mean, we're surmising. We can sit and do this. We've been doing this for a while now, trying to come up with fan theories on this. I'm just happy to let this just play out the way that it should, and hopefully Raw will get some answers. Go on to the second match on the card, which was Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler taking on Natalya and Tamina, the winners of the Tag Team Turmoil match from night 1. This match just got ignored. I'm sure the people who were watching live in this stadium might have enjoyed it, but the talking points with the Fiend. So everybody what was in like live streams, were talking about the Fiend. The attention had gone from this match. It was not a bad match from what I saw of it. Nia and Shayna retained. Nothing really to write home about. Tamina just can't do a frog splash. But you know, her dad, Jimmy Snuka, made famous. She just can't do it. She just sucks. Just change your finishing move. If you can't do justice to the one what you're doing, then no. Yeah, so Nia and Shayna retain. We go on to the third match. This was the one that I was looking forward to the most, which was Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn had invited Logan Paul to Wrestlemania. Always going to lead to some kind of disaster in my opinion. Kevin Owens won. This match should have been longer. I kind of had that feeling with Wrestlemania on night 2. We had Wrestlemania night 1, which was Botchamania. This seemed like shorter Mania. The matches didn't really get going. Felt that this needed a couple of more minutes. It was just warming up as Kevin Owens stunned Sami Zayn. At the end, Sami Zayn, Logan Paul came into the ring and started to put Kevin Owens' arm up. Sami Zayn didn't like this, started to get in to put Logan Paul's grill. Logan Paul pushes him, so Sami leaves, shouted conspiracy as usual. But then Logan Paul attempts to lift Kevin Owens' arm again. This is a mistake. When you've got the stunner in your arsenal, you don't do this. I mean, imagine trying to do that to Stone Cold. Yeah, it ended up with Logan Paul taking a stunner, which credit to him. Unlike Bad Bunny on night one, what was becoming a wrestler, Logan Paul just took it on the chin and sailed it really, really well. Very impressed with Logan Paul's attitude to this. Gets top marks, gets a thumbs up from me. Yeah, so we go on to the fight number 4, which is our second title fight of the night, and this is for the US Championship. I mean, I can't believe this happened. I think it's too soon for Riddle to lose, but yeah, this was Riddle and Sheamus. Yeah, there was a botch in this match. Sheamus went up for the white noise off the top rope and slipped. This kind of took momentum away from the fight a little bit, and they had to find a new finish. Like I said, Sheamus won. Riddle went to the middle rope and did like a backflip off the middle rope, but then got caught with the bro kick. And did he get caught? He have like blood dripping from his face, from his mouth. Don't know if that was faked or real, but yeah, it looked like he took some kind of impact. Yes, so Sheamus is now your new US champion. There's going to be fallout from this on Monday Night Raw for sure. I can't see Riddle taking this lightly. I think there will be more to this feud between these two. Yeah, expect, I think, a rematch. I think Raw will have a rematch. Our third title fight. It's all title fights now, guys. Apollo Crews versus Biggie. Apollo Crews with his new Nigerian persona, like predicted him at Fastlane to lose to Biggie. Can totally see this going the other way, and it did. But it was this like Nigerian drum match. There was like drums and tables and all that kind of stuff, kendo sticks, usual stuff what you would find in an hardcore match. It did look like Biggie was getting the upper hand. I mean, he put Apollo Crews through a table, but then all of a sudden this big huge Bo Balding character come into the ring and took out Biggie. Yeah, most people know this guy as Baba Kato. Baba Kato was in the Raw Underground. He was also known as Baba Tunde as well. Don't know what he's going to be going by in his new persona. He's just like mysterious partner at the moment, according to like Twitter and Apollo Crews' backstage interview. Yeah, so he's yet to be named, but I can't see it being too far from the names that he had previous. He just like almost looked towering over like their partner. So yeah, this is going to be a force to reckon with on SmackDown for sure. Now you've got the Apollo Crews has now got this like bodyguard. Seems to be a trait all of a sudden. We go on to the co-main event, and I was quite shocked at this. I predicted Asuka to retain. I didn't think this was right, to be quite honest with you. Rhea Ripley did win in the match against, so it was Rhea Ripley versus Asuka for the Raw Women's title. Yeah, and Rhea Ripley won. Thought she came off as very much a heel. Before this, I really thought that Asuka was going to retain and have her first WrestleMania win. It was sadly not to be, and it's kind of strange. We're now in a world where we've got this famous image from the Royal Rumble of both Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair sitting at ringside after nearly eliminating each other. And now they're champions of both Raw and SmackDown. I mean, it's quite amazing. Rhea Ripley hasn't been on the main roster long. She's literally weeks from coming up. She did have a WrestleMania moment last year against Charlotte in which she lost NXT title to Charlotte. So I suppose she was due a win at WrestleMania. This didn't seem right. It was a little bit flat. Wasn't really behind Rhea Ripley winning. So it didn't have the same kind of feels that like Bianca Belair's match did the night before. So that were a bit, I don't know, just didn't feel it. I think that was partly because the build wasn't there. Yeah, so it's kind of strange. I mean, now you've got on top of the tree now in the female divisions, you've got obviously Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and you've got Raquel Gonzalez as your champions on your three brands. What a strange place we're living in right now. Proper reset on the female division. So it'd be interesting to see how things go in the next couple of weeks and see what happens at WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah, that is Backlash's title. That's his next pay-per-view. There was a couple of backstage segments where Bayley Mania, as I was calling her, yeah, she'd interrupt the likes of Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan and Titus O'Neil again. They ended up leaving and making excuses not to talk to her, which is, was annoying, but I loved that about it. Proper heel Bayley is fantastic. Then there was a bit just before the night's main event where Titus and Hulk Hogan were like thanking the crowd for a great weekend. And Bayley came out, no, you should be thanking me. Where's my pyro? I'm the best thing on this show. And then people were saying Becky was returning on a Ding Dong show. We didn't get Becky. We did get some bees. The Bella twins. This angered quite a lot of people. I didn't care, to be quite honest with you. I thought it was funny. Yeah, Bayley did end up skittling down the ramp after the Bellas beat her up. It took two Bellas to beat Bayley up, though. Come on, let's be realistic here. It took two of them to take her out. But still, Bayley Mania runs wild at WrestleMania. Feel that she should have had a bigger moment than that. Probably with Michael Cole or returning Becky, but who says Becky was even returning anyway? She trolled you. Suckers. Yeah, we go into the night's main event, and that was Roman Reigns taking on Edge and Daniel Bryan, who just invited himself for no good reason. I don't know. It did go. It was quite an entertaining main event, to be fair. Jay came down to the ring with Roman and inserted himself in the match every bloody chance he got, even to a point where he got knocked out and dragged back into the backstage. He would make his presence known near the end of the fight. Yeah, spear versus spear, and they tried the same move on each other and took each other out, did Edge and Roman. Daniel Bryan had some spots. They all had spots, basically, but your ultimate winner would be Roman Reigns. Yeah, he ended up dominating. Concertos all around. Let's, got two chairs, let's have a concerto fight. Yeah, Edge did set up the first ones. He gave one to Daniel Bryan. And then he was about to do the same to the head of the table. And then Jay interfered and stopped it from happening. And then Roman did them both with the chairs before throwing them together in a pile and then taking the pin. So he pinned both of them. I mean, bravo. A lot of people were expecting Edge to win this one, and to have Roman Reigns retaining was just great for storytelling. It's like one of the most dominating heels in wrestling right now, and yeah, what a story that they're telling. It's really going to be something amazing to take the title off him now. So whoever's going to get that opportunity next, It's going to be quite massive. As for Edge and Daniel Bryan, you know, who knows? I think Daniel Bryan is near retirement anyway, so he's going to fade away. Maybe have one more shot at Roman. Maybe not. Edge is open. He's not signed to SmackDown. He's not signed to Raw. There was a rumour that on Raw, Bobby is having an open challenge. What if Edge takes that challenge? Imagine that night after WrestleMania, Edge takes the Raw Championship, the WWE Championship, away from Bobby Lashley. I mean, it's not impossible. I'd rather him not, but it could happen. I mean, we're all expecting these big, massive returns and this, that, and other. I don't see it that way. I think it will be just a bigger shock having Edge coming out, to be honest. Yeah, so that's what I predict there. So who knows, Raw might be as big as what we think. Just be mindful of this. And yeah, if this happens, I want you to go crazy in the chat and say that I told you so, that I got it, I pinned it. Don't be taking credit. I need the credit. All in all, I did think the show, I mean, people say night one was better. For the feels, definitely. But I did like the main event, particularly of Raw, of night 2. So yeah, let's see what happens. I rated it on the night 7.5, which was a 0.5 higher than night 1. I do think the weekend gets a 7.75 score overall. I don't think it was a bad Mania. I think a lot of people were a bit... I don't know, probably because they didn't get the results they wanted, that they did just, well, we're going to downgrade this. I thought it was great. They were finally back in front of crowds. I do think the weather played a major part, and the real main event of WrestleMania was Vince McMahon versus Mother Nature. Obviously, Vince, he had to win, didn't he? Vince won out in the end, beat Mother Nature, put her in a power driver and sent her packing. His face God, he's now beaten bloody Mother Nature. Yeah, all in all, great weekend. Didn't beat NXT, which I didn't think it ever would. Match of this week, WrestleMania week, was Walter versus Ciampa for sure. None of the matches at WrestleMania even got anywhere close to beating that. So NXT Stand and Deliver was the better show over the two. But yeah, we got crowds back, so you can't complain. We've got an epic moment with the Fiend, whether it went your way or it didn't. We've got a new female champion in the first ever black final, if you will, as a bit of a WrestleMania. With Bianca and Sasha putting on a clinic, if you will, showing that women's wrestling has really developed and gone to the next level. So yeah, all in all, I thought it was a great pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. I love the fact that it was over 2 nights. I think if that were in one night, I think by the time we got to the Fiend match, we'd have all been dropping. I think, you definitely think that tag team match would have been a waste of time. Yeah, all in all, I can't complain. We're going back to the normality of Raw on Monday, so get ready for that. We'll soon dip back into pure reality. That, I wish it were Mania weekend again. I wish I was looking forward to that. But all in all, I thought it were a good weekend. I enjoyed every show, so there you go. That's my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of the weekend. What was your favourite match of night 1, night 2? whichever. Just let me know what you think. What was your favourite match? Were you upset at the Fiend losing, or were you happy Roman retained? Just let me know. As always, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Dave in real life. You've been awesome. And remember to always keep it real. And a side note, this is going to be the last time I do a review, as my green screen has finally arrived. I'm messing around with it right now, trying to get it to work out perfectly. So hopefully the news channel will be launched in a short time. So look out for that. We'll be going live next Sunday for another wrestling quiz. So get your thinking caps on for that, folks, because that's going to be a blast. And yeah, it's beat the quiz master. So whoever stays in longer with the correct answers wins. So if you get 100%, you beat me, basically. If you don't, then it goes on again. So thank you so much for watching. I've been Dave in real life. See you later.